It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning into your Feel Good Breakfast Show as we enter into a vitally important conversation as we enter the festive season. Many of us are going to be planning our festive holiday activities. We've earned the break, visiting family, friends, all of us, of course, are wanting to hit the road, and that includes a lot of road travel. It's important to keep in mind that the roads this time of the year are particularly unsafe, which is why we need to take extra precautions. We are now going to speak to Hein, Customer Engineering Support Manager at Michelin, and Dr. Joanne Corrigall, the Public Health and Behaviour Specialist, on how we can stay safe on the roads this festive season. Dr. Hein, welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining us for one of the most important conversations I might have all year, because lives literally do hang in the balance here. Why do our roads, maybe, Doctor, I can start with you, why are our roads so dangerous at this time of the year?
Thank you. Yes, well, our roads are actually dangerous the whole year, but particularly so over Christmas and December as a month. And what we see is 130 people dying every month just in the Western Cape in December. So we're talking staggering figures. Mostly the people who are affected by these road deaths are pedestrians and passengers, and only then drivers. And most of the deaths happen in the 10 days actually leading up to Christmas. So the main causes are pretty much alcohol, people drinking and walking, passengers getting into cars with drunk drivers, drunk driving obviously as well, rushing around, aggressive driving, speeding, people not wearing seat belts, and of course the perils of long distance travel.
Yeah, I can be all judgmental and get on my soapbox here, but I get frustrated in the traffic. You kind of, especially at this time of the year, the roads, the congestion is hectic. You kind of, but we all have a responsibility to look after ourselves, and most importantly, to look after our passengers and our family. How do we stay safe? What can we do then to offset this? Yeah,
so there's actually a lot that road users can do to improve their safety over this period. So if we think about people walking on the roads, the top tip for walkers is don't drink and walk. So get home while you can actually still walk straight, and obviously avoid roads that have high traffic. If people feel like they really want to get drunk, then rather skip one drink and actually use that money to take a taxi home.
Completely.
Yeah. And then for passengers, the most important thing is for passengers to actually realize that they need to take responsibility for their own safety. Their safety is not the driver's responsibility. So for passengers, what that really means is not getting into a car with a drunk driver. Yeah. You know, it means don't get into a taxi that's overloaded or doesn't have seat belts. Don't rush the driver. That's something we see a lot. Passengers rushing drivers to go faster because the passenger's late. And obviously to wear a seat belt, especially if you're in the backseat of a car, because people always think, oh, they don't need it in the backseat, which is not true.
Especially when children are involved.
Exactly.
Especially.
Exactly.
And if you are going to have a drink, we know it's the festive season, preemptively protect yourself. If you know that you're going to be drinking, organise a lift, organise a shuttle service, make sure that you've got that set beforehand. Don't try and make those decisions when you're inebriated.
Yes, and I mean, and for drivers, it's very difficult, unless you have your own breathalyzer, to know if you're actually over the legal alcohol limit. So if you're going to be driving, really the best thing is not to drink at all.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
And there will be a lot of roadblocks, trust me. Hein, the reality is, when we are driving, the only thing touching the road is our tyres.
Absolutely.
And I think it's lost on a lot of people. We'll make decisions. We'll replace other elements of the car, and we'll spend so much money on our holiday and the planning and everything, but we often overlook the most important element here. From your guys' perspective, what is the most important thing to be aware of going into this road-heavy festive season?
So thanks. Yeah, I think the doctor started in the beginning saying all these scary facts about the bad stuff. So we as Michelin are committed to ensure the safety of the guys on the road during this festive season. Some key facts to look out for. The number one would be probably the treadwear. So on the Michelin tyre, it's very easy. So on the shoulder of the tyre, the little Michelin man indicates where the treadwear is.
Really? Okay.
So basically, this would be the limit. Usually, it's at 1.6 millimeter. Okay. So the reason why you need this amount of millimeter is to enhance the traction of the tyres. It will help with water evacuation. In Gauteng, we're having a lot of water.
Yeah.
And it will help with the braking distance as well. So during this festive season, you would need to have some sort of safety. Another key aspect would be the pressures. So I'm going to take some time on the pressures, but the pressures are most most commonly,
Kind of.
how can I say it? Anyway.
Yeah, I know what you
misled.
mean. Yeah,
the guys don't put emphasis on this. But
the thing is, I don't know. I wouldn't know.
So the main, it's very easy. It's either on the side of your door or on the fuel tank, where they place the fuel inside,
yeah.
you know, where you can see what the pressure should be. But the main aspect is you need to check the pressures where it's cold.
Okay.
So once in a passenger car tire, when you've driven farther than 3 kilometers, the temperature inside of your tire have changed. And basically the pressure increases as well. So that it's not the true pressure inside of the tire anymore. So you need to check it while it's cold. Second to that, you need to go somewhere where the pressure gauge is actually calibrated. You know, sometimes you go to people and the gauge is not necessarily calibrated, so the actual pressure inside of the tire is not corresponding to what it actually is.
What it is.
And additionally to that, with the festive season, the people are going to travel a lot. They're going to load more. So we need to look at what sort of pressure there needs to be for a certain load. And this is the most common failures we have in tires, is when the tires are not properly inflated.
And it's simple things. This is the crazy thing. It's small, simple checks that you can do before you hit the road. You pack your putt course, you check your tires. If you have to go to, so would you recommend going to an actual tire fitment center to check your pressure, or can you go to a normal garage? How would you know?
Well, it's easy to go to a tire garage because while you're putting in fuel, it's always good to look at it to ensure that it's not underinflated. But it would be advisable to go to an accredited dealer,
so you know.
A tire dealer, to ensure that the tires are calibrated. So during this season, all our Michelin dealers would be available. All of them have agreed to do a free safety check for all the guys.
Wow.
So they'll do the inspection, they'll do treadwear indications, they'll do the pressure checks, they'll check if there's any penetrations or any cuts to ensure that tires are safe to use.
Absolutely love that. Doctor, thank you so much for coming in to spread this word. I think we should probably do this every day throughout this festive season. There is no reason for us to let go of vital safety tips and checks now just because we're getting into that festive spirit. Some very useful tips there. So thank you to both of our guests, something hopefully that we've all written down and taken on board. And just to intensify that for you all viewers at home, if you visit, as Hein said, your participating dealer for your free tyre check, make sure to snap a selfie with the Michelin man and enter the competition on their website or on the competition post on the Michelin RSA, that's Michelin RSA Facebook page, to stand a chance of winning a trip to the 2020 MotoGP in Spain, and it's going to be a cracker MotoGP season. You want to visit michelin.co.za for all the terms and conditions, and you can also stand a chance of winning one of 5 Michelin safety kits valued at 500 Rand each, which is great, by visiting that competition page on michelin.co.za. So make sure to use the keyword espresso under the subheading of where did you hear about this competition to apply for that competition. It's going to end on the 12th of December at midnight, so get on it. But most importantly, take on board everything we've spoken about. It's not just your safety as a driver, it's the safety of your family, of your passengers, of pedestrians. Just be a bit more aware.